Hello, today I'm going to discuss about the Python and its perspective on the AI. So the Python is used in the AI as well as there is a framework cam to the Spring as well. That is called Spring AI. So as I am a Java developer, I know more better about the Spring and the Spring frameworks. So I was thinking to compare Spring AI with the Python. In this context, I got that the Python AI library is more rich than Spring. In fact, it's my own opinion, and why I am saying it is the Python is more versatile to use for AI development and the integration. There are libraries already built on the Python, that is NumPy and Pandas, that is been used by the different perspective of the AI development. That's why here in this tutorial I wanted to teach you that how the Python is being used and what are those basic concepts we we have to learn in order to learn AI integration. So I have created some slides that I'll show one by one and explain it to you. So going to the next slide is, as you can see here, basics of Python. Python is an interpreted language. That means there are two things, and one is compiler and another one is interpreter. So the compiler is, as we know, being a programmer, the compiler is one-time scan. It scans the whole code, then it is compiling and converting to the bytecode or to the respective class file. So in the same way, interpreter is doing what? It is understanding our code line by line. So in perspective of the Python is interpreted language. So the second point is high level and readable. The high level and readable means we can write simply by English like syntax. I'll give you some example later of this session. Again, the third point is dynamic typing. Dynamic typing is the variable type determined at runtime. Now, just I need to explain here what is determined, why it is determined at runtime, or how we see that it is determined at runtime. Suppose string, if we are writing a string, right, in other programming language, any string literal will have double quotes. So here we can give single quote, we can give double quote, and this will be determined at runtime. The second thing is, it is, I mean, if suppose we have created one name number and we have assigned 5, and then second line we have created one name, something like we created text and again we assigned 5. So whether it is text or whether it is number, and the both would be decided at runtime. Going further, I'll show you the example of all these points. So the last point of this slide is vast ecosystem. As I already told you, why we are talking about the Python in the AI context is Python is rich in libraries like NumPy, Panda, TensorFlow. The NumPy is numerical calculation. It is being used for the numerical calculation extensively. The Panda is being used by the data scientist extensively. That's why it is rich in libraries. Now the second next slide is Python features. What is the feature that I told? Interpreted language. That means if we write hello world, it runs immediately without doing any compilation. So there are some pros and cons as well. So just you can understand, if anything is having some pros, then it might have some cons with a different perspective. So it's depend on the perspective on what we are talking to. the case of AI development, interpreted language is more better than the compiler as well as interpreted language. So going further, high level and readable, as I told you that high level and readable means if we are writing a simple plain English print, then it will print whatever the parameters or whatever the literals we are giving within the parenthesis within the bracket, it will print there. Like if we're writing if x is greater than 10, how much simple it you can see here, no parenthesis, nothing, it's only the same line we are writing x is greater than 10 and colon symbol and we are printing something, it will work. So the third point is dynamic typing. Dynamic typing, I told you that if you are writing x is equal to 5, x is equal to hello, these both are valid. There is no invalid, like why we are providing hello or a string to the x, and how we are providing numeric to the x. Both are valid syntax and it will be determined at runtime. I told you from the first slide that extensive libraries, Python is having extensive libraries like NumPy. What I know about the two of these, NumPy and Pandas, that has been extensively used in the AI context. NumPy has been used for a numeric calculation and the Panda is being used for the data science for data aggregation and their representation. So going further for the next slide, the code breakdown, I'm just showing you some sample codes and how it is working. I'll explain those. Import random, as in the Java, from the Java background, I'm comparing it to the Java, that import the random means we are importing something. Now greeting hello Python, it is again the how the variable is being assigned. So the import random loads the random model, which is library for the generating random numbers, and greeting hello Python creates a variable named greeting and assigning it to string value hello Python. This is dynamic typing. In the same way, I'm showing you that Python. I'm showing you another example. Count 5. If count is greater than 0, so print. F is used for formatting. Why this F is being used? I'll say it. Counting down from parenthesis count. So the count is equal to 5 creates a variable count and assign it the integer value of 5. This is another example of dynamic typing. Again, if count is greater than 0, checks if the value of the count is greater than 0. The code inside the if block is executed. Now the print the f string message. This is f string is f is nothing from only the formatting. It is formatting because we have given count here in the parenthesis, so it would be resolved if you will give here f. There are other syntax also that if you will proceed further with this learning, then you will find it that how we can format or resolve this count variable here. Now again, the for how the loop is working in Python, for I in range count 0 minus 1 print I. You know that our count was 5, so it will print from 5 4 3 2 1. Why? The range is a method. I have given here two things, range and the count. Range is a method which is taking the initial value of count, that is 5. 0 is exclusive, it is not including. That means when it is printing I, it will exclude 0, and minus 1 is